I lost count of how many foster homes I lived in. 20, maybe more. Each time, a new room, a new bed, a new routine with a new family. But never a space that really felt like mine. Eventually, I didn't even bother unpacking, because moving again was never an if. It was always a when.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
When I was 15, I didn't have anywhere to go for the holidays. So my high school principal invited me to stay with his family. It was just supposed to be for a few weeks, but soon they asked me to stay forever as their daughter. Now I have my own room and decorated it myself. It's kind of a tornado, but it's my tornado. And just like my family, it's mine to keep.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
All right, we're back. You're listening to the Ken Pittman Show. So, Maura Healey signed into law a bill that expands abortion and guarantees the right to abortion right up to the birthday. So, as long as the child is in the womb, the child is exposed to being aborted by the mother. And unfortunately, one of the Republican candidates for governor on his own website is agreeing with Maura Healey. Brian Shortsleeve, this is on brianshortsleeve.com. The Shortsleeve campaign released the following statement on Monday, reacting to Governor Maura Healey signing the Prioritizing Patient Access to Care Act. Brian Shortsleeve has been clear throughout this campaign that he's pro-choice and believes these deeply personal decisions should be made between a woman and her doctor, said campaign spokesperson Pat Nestor. This legislation is largely consistent with protections already established under current Massachusetts law, and as governor, Brian would sign it. So he has planted his flag on the side of late-term abortion. Again, it's a very emotional topic, and there are personal issues here. But most pro-choice people that I talk to, and whose position I can at least respect how they come to the conclusions they do, they don't want abortion to be extended past the point where there's an existence of suffering for the unborn fetus, the baby, whatever you want to call the unborn child. Once the nervous system gets to the point where it is sophisticated enough to register pain and suffering, they don't want abortion accessible. That's reasonable by comparison to what we're seeing here. And like I said, I wish they would put this procedure, or the several procedures, for the voter to actually see what they're voting for. It would be a 90% no, hard no. But Brian Shortsleeve has, I think, committed political suicide in the Republican Party over this. And it's not reading the tea leaves here. But I respect that if he does understand it's going to hurt him and he sticks to that position, well, I mean, just become a Democrat. I don't think the Republican voters are going to be supportive of late-term abortion. What are your thoughts on that? 508-996-0500. I know I read the preamble of the Constitution, and I read that it says, all persons, they've secured the rights of life and liberty for all persons and future generations. For us and our future generations. I don't know that you could present to the court a better example of a future generation than a baby in the womb. So from a constitutional standpoint, I understand it's a preamble. From a religious standpoint, as a Christian, I mean, you can't do that in a secular nation like the United States, where there's a separation of church and state. Thanks to Hugo Black, Supreme Court Justice, who was a member of the KKK. He made that clear, the separation of church and state. So that's the reality and the history behind it. But I mean, as a Christian, I can't support it ever, but I don't need to in order to defend the unborn from a constitutional standpoint. But again, I can at least respect how people come to these conclusions. And it is a really emotional and tough decision to make. I get all that. But at least the majority of pro-choice people that I know and that I've spoken with agree that when there's an unborn child that can feel pain and suffering, that shouldn't happen. But again, those are people you don't have to look in the eye, because it happens behind the walls of a clinic in the darkness of the womb. 508-996-0500. Now, there's what I think, hogwash story that there's all sorts of mental duress going on the USS Abraham Lincoln's aircraft carrier, and people are trying to commit suicide and they're desperate for help and all this stuff. It's being reported by members of the Democratic Party from the Senate, Congress, major media outlets. It's a BS story. And the credibility of all these people was already at risk, and here we go. They'll brush this under the rug. I know how it goes, but it's not happening. And I'm going by the Pentagon. I'll trust the Pentagon. I mean, I would like to see our military stay neutral in terms of politics. They're not politicians. They don't act that way. But the Central Command has said this is not happening. Don't listen to these stories. 508-996-0500. Thank you for calling. You're next.
Is it me?
It is. Welcome.
Hey, it's Gilly Satfield.
Hi, Gilly.
How you doing? You know, you're mentioning about shut sleeves and everything. Yesterday on the Barry Richards show, somebody called in about that, how he decided to do that. But he also asked the question about his running mate, Councilor Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
What's his stand on it? And Barry put a thing out. If you're listening, Mr. Oliver, if you can call in and give us your opinion on the thing. And I don't know if he called in or anything. Does anybody know where he stands?
I know I don't.
Okay, no, but he put Barry put it on the radio. If you're listening, Councilor Oliver, call in and let us know where you stand.
The only state reps from down here that voted no was Chris Markey and Sylvia. The rest of them all voted yes.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, but you're talking about shot sleeve, like it's suicide. You said what he just did.
Well, to embrace, he went out of his way to embrace partial birth abortion, late-term abortion. I think that it's...
No, I understand what you're saying, but the thing is that a running mate that they're running together. What's all of us take on this? And that's what Barry asked if he can call in. I don't know if he called in and gave his opinion. So don't you think somebody should find out where he stands? I
do. I don't know if it's as important, but since he doesn't have an opponent in the primary, but yeah, down the road, absolutely, he should have to answer that. I think he should answer it. Yeah, but I'm just saying he's going to be on the ballot regardless. There's no primary decision to make.
We understand that, but it's not guaranteed that he's going to make it.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a guarantee. Not in the long run. He could be. He doesn't have to make it. He can go in, but
he'll be on the ballot in November, Gilly.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but that's not the point I'm bringing across. Only because you brought up shot sleeve, and they're supposed to be running together. We already know where shot sleeve stands now, and it's going to change a lot of the votes.
It sure is.
Okay, so now on Barry Richards' show, the gentleman that called in asked the same question: where does all of us stand on this?
No, I think people want to know, especially down here.
Well, yeah, so we'd like to, I hope he calls in and clarifies this. That's all.
Well, I think if enough pressure, if he's given enough pressure, he should be open about it, right? I do agree.
That's all we're asking.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Anything?
Ken, only one state rep said no. You said two.
Sylvia and Markey.
Sylvia said yes, Ken.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I was told he said no.
Markey said no. Sylvia said yes.
He's on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look. Four.
All right, so I had
Four out
a
of-
Republican staffer tell me that he voted no.
Four or five New Bedford
Awful.
reps voted.
Shame on you.
Voted yes on doctors' full discretion to abort babies after 6 months.
And who are the four? Cabral.
Cabral, Hendricks,
Yep.
Sylvia, and the guy from Westport. I forgot his name. Olet.
Yeah, Willette. Well, Willette and Cabral, not a real surprise. A little surprise about Hendricks, but not Cabral. Sylvia, I was told, voted, so I was told incorrectly. Unless what you're reading is wrong.
That was this was posted on 18 hours ago, Ken. From New Bedford Guide.
Yeah.
So
Well, when we know who's who, 508-996-0500.
Four out of the five reps are running again, Ken. Markey's not running again. He's running for DA now.
Right, but I don't think honestly, I don't think that vote changes if he's running again as state rep. I just think that that's who he is.
No, I think it's probably because none of these state reps have. Only one state rep will have an opponent in November, Ken.
Yeah, Jesse.
Olet will only have an opponent in November.
And he's the Republican opponent he has.
There's a primary on September 1st.
Yep.
Between Christopher Thatcher
That's right.
and Jesse St. Gelais.
Yeah, St. Gelais is polling better, I guess, but I don't know who's doing the polling.
And then Olet waits the winner of that for November, but the other three don't have opponents, Ken.
Yeah, you got to get Willette out of there. You guys over there, come on.
But I think Cabral does have an opponent. A write-in, though.
Also, Cabral's going to skate in. I'm sorry, but if you can't do better than write-in, you just don't even try. And you got to have a lot of money. Because Tony Cabral's been there too long, and he's got a great base.
Yeah, because you got
as radically to the left as he is.
I think Cabral has a write-in opponent. Sylvia doesn't have one. I don't think Hendricks has an opponent.
No. Yeah, they're safe in their positions right now, but it's just disappointing. It's not shocking, a couple of them, especially Cabral, but Hendricks I had hoped would not favor that, but whatever.
I thought Hendricks would be the one with Markey saying no on it. But.
It is Massachusetts. We have to realize that. 508-996-0500. And, wow, there's a cloud in the sky, Ryan. That's the first one today, I think. But we're looking out here at just another beautiful day, and I hope you're able to enjoy it, whether you're walking around with your headphones or your earbuds and listening through Bluetooth. And get out there today, and just another great day of weather. And I don't think we're getting any rain until late Sunday, which is perfect.
Yeah,
right?
Sunday night into Monday.
Very nice of God to keep the weekends nice and clean, and then give us the rain after the weekend.
We got some rain this weekend.
A little.
A little bit.
Yeah, spotty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm growing some things in my backyard, and I can tell you, if I don't water them, it's not enough. You see what's happening out west, Lake Mead? You see that? One of the great reservoirs of the West, Lake Mead. It's incredibly low in. There's drought situations in a lot of places right now.
Yeah, before I left my house this morning, they were showing pictures of Denver, Colorado. Ken, you wouldn't want to be out there right now.
Well, and you get forest fire concerns.
Pouring like cats and dogs.
Yeah, they needed that water though.
Yeah, they did.
But I think 13 inches fell in a 24-hour period in somewhere, and man, that causes
not in Denver.
No.
Jeez.
I want to say it was the Indiana, Illinois area, but yeah, you get these deluges that especially when you have like a hilly area, mountains, Appalachia. That's where your flooding comes from. Got to be mindful of that stuff. Hawaii's about to have a hurricane of some kind, right?
Huh?
Hawaii.
I don't know.
Yeah. Why? Well, you don't keep an eye on Hawaii weather?
Nope.
Yeah, they're about to get nailed by something. We're keeping an eye on the Atlantic now, it's because we're coming into hurricane season. So there's a couple of minor threats, but nothing. We've been really fortunate, knock on wood, right? As a country, we haven't really gotten battered in quite a while. We were told, because of global warming, that it would be, superstorms every 3 weeks, going forward 10 years ago.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything.
Well, John Kerry, I think
lately.
I think in the 90s, he said Nantucket would be underwater by 2015. He said something crazy like that.
2015? Jeez.
Yeah.
We're 11 years from that, buddy.
Yeah. Good call. Al Gore. Well, as soon as Al Gore's involved, it's likely to be
that
BS.
was John Kerry that said it, though.
Yeah. And just a bold prediction. I mean, when Donald Trump says climate change is a hoax, he's not saying that the planet isn't warming. There's a warming trend. Of course, there's a warming trend. You'd be an idiot to say that we're not warming up. I mean, not only can you feel it, but the numbers don't lie. But the hoax is that this is what people need to understand. It's not the idea that the planet hasn't shown a warming trend. The hoax is that there aren't scientists. They're telling you there are no scientists who would disagree it's from man-made carbon dioxide. That's the hoax, because there are plenty who would disagree. And despite being bullied into agreeing with it, and despite losing grants and tenure in colleges and all these punishments for not agreeing, there are still scientists who refuse to cower to the bullying. And some say, well, we should still investigate the idea that it could be the solar energy coming from the sun that's causing it. Things like just... It's just remarkable how many scientific topics have been bullied, and they still tell you to follow the science. Or else. That's not how science works. We'll be back.
This is New Bedford's news talk station, WBSM. This is New Bedford's news talk station, WBSM.
I'd be remiss if I didn't extend my condolences to the family of Billy Teed, who was a former DJ here at Fun 107 and has recently passed away. I don't know the circumstances behind it, but what a good guy. I can tell you that. Really liked him, and was brought to my attention by a former Fun 107 personality, Scott Renish. I'm very sad about that. He was honestly just a good person, and I enjoyed his company. He was here briefly, by comparison to some, but he went on to do other things in radio and lived on the Cape. Just very sad about that. But let's go back to the phones and take our next caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Ken.
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying this beautiful day so far, or you will when you're
I plan to.
Studio. Good. The weather's great today. A lot of people are out and about and enjoying it.
Right.
But I wanted to just call in regarding this partial birth abortion bill that was signed by Maura Healey. It really is disgusting. And like you said, to see all these women jumping up and down and being so happy, what makes you happy about killing babies? I mean, I've never had children myself, and I've never had an abortion, and I've never been somebody who goes gaga over babies, but damn, I'll tell you, some of them are so cute. And when I look at them like a newborn baby or a baby that's 3 months old, and I think this baby could be dead. I mean, they could actually kill babies. It's just the...
Well, my intention was not to confront abortion as a whole, but because I think there are some pro-choice people who have a little bit more of a reasonable scenario where, well, we can't allow for abortions when the one that's being aborted can actually feel the suffering of it. And
well, that's the thing. You really should not. I mean, truthfully, babies should not be aborted after 13 weeks because they are, at that time, fully developed. And I mean, a lot of people who, are for abortion but not for partial birth abortion, say that, abortion should end at 13 weeks, but this pushes it right to birth.
So I've had 6 children.
Abortion.
I've had 6 children in each of the cases, right? Thank you. He has. And in each of the cases, we're asked if we want to test for Down syndrome. And the reason they want to do that is because then they want to introduce us to the option not to go forward with the baby. But that, to me, as my Christian soul tells me, well, you're telling me I don't have to unconditionally love my child. I will love my child unconditionally, whether you approve of it or not. We're not going to test for that. And my wife feels the exact same way.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
why?
And look at Down children when you see them sometimes. They're fully functional.
Angels.
They're not fully functional, but they're functional and they're adorable. Sometimes you'll see them bagging groceries and they're hilarious. They have such a great sense of humor. And they're so cute.
It is a particular challenge. I get it. I understand, but that would not deter me from going forward at all.
Exactly. But, the scary thing is, too, like when RFK talks about autism, 1 in 31 children today have autism. And the sad part is about autism, your baby can be born with absolutely no problems, but then they start injecting them with all types of vaccines, and all of a sudden they have autism. Nobody addresses that. You can't address that.
I'm going to keep my powder dry whether or not it's the vaccines. I know that there's some evidence that could suggest it. A lot of doctors don't believe it's enough evidence to even consider it, but I just don't know enough about it, so I can't comment on it because I'm really ignorant of whether or not that's a cause or not.
But, here's the sad thing. A lot of doctors don't believe it because doctors are funded many times by Big Pharma.
Yep.
So they are never going to go against Big Pharma because, A, they could lose their license. I was just having a conversation today with a neighbor, and we were just talking about allopathic doctors versus holistic doctors or, European doctors. And, some of these doctors in the United States, they really just, their whole approach towards healthcare is so off as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, because I am far more holistically inclined. And, all they want to do is prescribe medications, and which, by the way, I recently had eye surgery, and so I'm taking 3 eye drops. So I kept the pamphlets on the eye drops just in case I had any problems. I wanted to see what the, what the problems might be. I was shocked to see that 2 out of the 3 eye drops are made in India. Now we're making our pharmaceuticals in India.
Well, that's who owned the patent for Ozempic. There's a lot of talented medical people they have a lot of smart people over there. But there's a huge pharmaceutical presence and has been for decades in India. Yeah,
but our pharmaceuticals should be made in our country. Why we've outsourced them? And that's the reason why Big Pharma is making such a fortune. They've outsourced everything to all these pharma.
Well, again, I'll just remind you that if they own the patent and they're the only ones allowed to make that medicine, they're going to export it and sell it as a product, and India's going to enjoy the money from it.
Okay, that could be true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally. I don't have all the talking points when it comes to Big Pharma, but I'm just shocked to see that medical products that we're taking are made in foreign countries, and especially like in China. I guess India is not as bad, but China, in a communist country, that should come to a screeching halt.
There is a problem. There is a problem with Chinese products in that they have a lot of counterfeit products that are shipped here. And they're brought into like convenience stores and other stores and replace American-made products that have patents and intellectual property rights to. And there's a big problem with that.
Yeah, I know. And who suffers? The public suffers. And
the Americans.
What do our legislators do about it? They do absolutely nothing. But, getting back to the abortion issue, it really is. I was a bit horrified to see that Brian Shortsleeve, was supporting
Disappointed.
this. Because I was supporting him because, everyone that I know that is on the, Republican town committees, they're all going gung-ho and shaking their pom-poms for Mike Minogue. But what really, really disturbs me is the fact that Mike Minogue won't even have a debate with Brian Shortsleeve so we, the people who are voting, can determine which candidate we feel is best for us. He won't do that. And I think his message in his advertising is horrendous. I think he needs to fire his communications director and get a new person because even his new ad on TV, I look at it and I say, who came up with that? It's like little paper cutouts, glued to a background, and it's just so bizarre.
Well, you know what? Let me specify what sorry to interrupt, Kathy. What I'm specifically upset about is he's not going after some really low-hanging fruit that Healy's offering in her mistakes. He's not specifying her or the big problems that she's created.
Yeah. He's really not telling us what he's going to do and how he plans to do it. But yet, everyone's gung-ho for him, but yet they're not asking the hard questions. I mean, we all know we really have got to get Healy out of office. That woman has got to be removed out of the state. She has to go. However, we can't, afford to get someone in that's not going to fix the problems that she has created. We need someone who's going to get in there and is very determined and not afraid to say what he's going to do. But both Republican candidates are really trying to pretty mamby-pamby because they don't want to offend anybody. They want to appeal to all people, and you can't appeal to all people. So it's very frustrating because it's almost like a cabal against short sleeve, but then he comes out with this supporting this, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, that is not a good thing.
Well, most campaign people know that you're not going to appeal to all people. You have to appeal to enough people. And how do you do that? And that's really what the goal is. Yeah.
Who they have to appeal to, the independent voter because that's 60% of the voters in this state. So they have got to appeal to the independent, unenrolled, and get those people to get out and vote.
I think they're 40%, aren't they?
I think it's 60%. I think.
Okay. I believe it was 40 last time. Unless it changed, I'm not aware.
Yeah, it could be 60 or 40. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it's a big percentage.
It sure
it's
is
the largest percentage.
Right.
It's larger than the Democrats and it's larger than the Republicans. That is the biggest percentage, so they certainly need to appeal to them. But more importantly is we all need to start talking to people, friends and family, and telling them the importance of voting. Here in Rochester, we had a school committee election recently, and the conservative person running lost by one vote. One vote. Now, if 5 more conservatives got out to vote, she would have won.
Yeah, I guess it would.
When people say, my vote doesn't count, every vote
counts, especially locally, yeah. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. Well, thank you so much for the call, Kathy. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
You are next. Hello.
Good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
I just wanted to make a couple of comments on that big pharma, and I wanted to ask you what you thought about the Clancy trial. The big pharma thing, they're pushing that GLP-1 drug, and that girl, 19 years old, did you see it on the news? She passed away from it. She was vomiting, and they found her dead in the bathroom. Second year.
She choked on her vomit?
Excuse me?
She choked on her vomit?
No, she vomited because that drug causes nausea, vomiting. It causes a lot of side effects, constipation, diarrhea. And if you don't follow it the way it's laid out, like they tell them, they don't have an appetite, so they're dropping a pound a week. That's what they want to see you do. And now they're getting it without a prescription online also. So everybody's on GLP-1, okay? So if you ever see somebody that was a little heavy and right away they're thin, if you ask them, it's probably they're on the GLP-1. So this was Zepbound, and she didn't follow the directions, obviously. Maybe she was too busy studying. I don't know the whole ins and outs of
Any of those things should be under the care of a doctor.
It is. So you are. But the thing is, they don't follow what it says. Like a lot of people don't get hungry, so they don't eat anything. So that's wrong. And they tell you, even though you're not hungry, you got to force yourself to have the protein or a protein drink. Because Tim does really good on it. He's on Manjaro, and he'll talk about it on the air, and he's lost 100 pounds, and he looks terrific. I've seen him.
He does.
Did
he lose 100?
Yeah. This girl here, it's sad because she was 19.
Awful.
And she was a second-year law student in England, and she ended up passing away.
If she's not obese, if she's not like morbidly obese or diabetic, I mean, at that age, you could probably just exercise enough to work it off slowly.
I know, but see, everybody wants a quick fix, and this drug flew off, and they're handing it out kind of like candy, and people just don't want to do it that way. They just want to lose weight real quick, and it's a shame because why should I can see losing weight and being healthy, and I'm not going to stop eating fruits. They don't want you eating any fruits. They don't want you eating things that are good for you, like fiber. They don't want any of that.
Well, a lot of people who are prescribed are diabetic, so they don't want you having fruits and sugars.
I know, but not everybody's diabetic. They don't even want it on the other one. Like Zepbound's for weight loss. She wasn't a diabetic. Manjaro, they usually give Ozempic and Manjaro for diabetes.
Yeah.
It's the other ones that they use for weight loss. So anyway, I think it's sad in this country that they put so much on looks and social media has all those women on there with everything's fake, from the eyelashes down to the pointed nails to the rear ends to the everything is.
And they have filters now. These filters that people want you to think it's really them. I mean, they look foolish putting these damn filters on too.
Well, I don't know, but it's sad. She's 19 and she's gone. She's dead, a smart girl.
So sad.
And she's gone from that. You know what I mean? And they put too much pressure.
But what was the cause of death? It wasn't that she choked on her vomit. What killed? How did she die?
Because her electrolytes all went out of her body, and you can die from that. If you get food poisoning, you can die from that. If you're vomiting or you have diarrhea both ways or whatever, it all comes out of you and your body shuts down.
Yeah, no, that's sad.
So she could have probably, if she called the doctor, but I know there's rules on that. If you're vomiting, you're supposed to call. Nausea is okay, but vomiting is not. And she probably didn't eat anything, and she had nothing, like I said, nothing in her system, and the vomiting caused her.
But I just read an article the other day that a lot of these GLP-1 patients are prescribed nausea medicine.
Yeah, Tofran. They give it when they. I know a girl that's on it, and she gets the bottle of Tofran when she gets the medicine, but it still causes her. She's still getting nausea. She was so sick the other day. She told me she couldn't even go to work, and she's been on it. She's already lost almost 40 pounds, and she's been on it a little while now, and it's expensive. And then the price of it, people don't want to go off it because they figure I've invested $500 already. And I'm figuring, she told me by the time she gets through, it's going to be $4,000.
Yeah, most plans are $200, $300, $400 a month.
I don't know. It's crazy. So they're making money on that left and right. And I just wanted to make a comment about the Clancy thing. What are you thinking of that? Now, I want to tell you what I think of it, too.
I think it would be I think she has to stay either in a mental institution or a prison for the rest of her life. I don't think she should be free.
I don't think so either, because you know what? There'll be a man that likes her no matter what. She's an attractive girl, and men don't care if you're in a wheelchair or if you have mental problems. They'll still hook up with you.
Do you remember Andrea Yates?
Which one's that one?
Texas. She drowned all 5 of her children.
Oh, there's a lot of them that did it. Remember the other one?
She's already out.
Oh, my God. Remember, how long did she do?
7 years, 10 years at the most. I think it was like 7.
Remember the other one, too? She had glasses, and she did it down on the water at the beach. I can't remember that one's name.
I don't think we can I don't think it's healthy at all to give a license to this behavior. Even if there was an issue, I think you're gonna have to stay under supervised care the rest of your life if you can't be trusted to not murder your children. I'm sorry, I
think she has mental problems, but the thing is, they're all those men that she's got behind her, those lawyers are all feeling sorry for her and sticking up for her. But she did kill 3 innocent children.
Oh, she has the best defense attorney for many miles around, too, in Kevin Reddington.
That's right, I know that. But, and she was a nurse, people like that taking care of someone like us.
It does seem as though they weren't monitoring the amounts of medicine she was on. And whether or not some of those combinations would bring somebody to a delusional state. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but it's very difficult for me to understand how she could be freed one day.
Ken, but I got to tell you something. Everybody's looking to sue. Everybody's looking to push their responsibility on someone else. She's a nurse. She knows better. She knew about medicine. You have to take a whole course on meds and dosages, okay? Because I was in the nursing field, and that she knows that.
She kept a log, and she logged when she was feeling certain things. She was mindful to do that.
Yeah, but I mean that's only for her own benefit. But the thing is, everybody's looking to pass the buck on somebody else in this world. Yeah. I mean, even the GLP-1, you chose to take it. You know what I mean?
But there's a 19-year-old. Is a 19-year-old really wise and knowledgeable enough to counter concern over the wonderful benefits that it promotes in markets?
Wait a minute. She's in law school. She's not stupid. She's second year of law.
I understand.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now to your face that they offered me GLP-1.
Okay.
And you know what? I did my own research, and I also had that big thing happen to me with my bowels, and I had ended up with a bag. And do you know what all these doctors told me? To take it. So you know what? I'm not going to listen to them and then later boo-hoo and have another bag and end up, because it constipates you real bad. And why would a doctor tell someone like me to take that after all I've been through and what I've had? And my gastroenterologist said to take it. Now that's why you have to be your own best advocate in this world, in medicine.
Okay.
Because of that, you have to do your own research.
I think they were probably thinking that the vast majority of people won't have serious conditions like that, and so they felt safe saying the odds are you're not going to have any issues. But you're right in your case.
All these doctors know what I've been through that I'm talking about.
Okay.
The ones that I'm talking about know what I've been through, and you know what? Every single one of them said to try it, to take it. Like, I need to go through what I went through. You know what I said? No, I don't think so. I will not do it. You know, it's not worth it to me. If you don't like me the way I am, see you later. And not only that, I don't have sugar diabetes, so I really don't need it. And I'd rather just, I'd like to lose 20 pounds and keep it off. But I mean, I'm not going to go through that to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that because it's unhealthy. I don't even know why this GLP-1 is doing what it's doing and flying off the shelves, and everybody's on it and their brother.
For the people with diabetes, the A1C count is down remarkably, and with no real serious adverse conditions to justify ending it. Right for now, they don't see any real problems. I mean, down the road, you're right, they could discover something. But for the majority of people that are prescribed, it's working well.
Yeah, but you know what they also said? If you get off it, you gain all the weight back.
Yeah.
They said you have to stay on it forever. And you know what? It does something. It tricks your brain. It makes you not want to eat, and it makes you not hungry. It does something to your brain.
It'll shut down the noise of hunger. That's how they describe it.
I don't know, but I don't want to take a chance with it because it's not worth it to me. I did my own research, and there's not much out there on it. But I mean, you can find enough that says what it does to you.
Listen, if your body's functioning on a good diet, you've lived a good life, and you're not, I think it's better not to be on anything.
No, I'm not taking no risks on that.
All right.
I'll be the way I am, and that's it. Whatever. I'm talking about this Clancy thing, though. I hope that she does get put in jail because this, and I don't think she should be profiting off it. They should say that, and no deals with book deals in movies because this is a big one.
The husband's already remarried, huh?
Yeah, but he didn't remarry right away. He
this is not that long ago.
No, they divorced, and it's been 3 years.
Has it been already 3? Wow.
Yeah, and after the kids got killed, he remarried. She's a fertility doctor.
Wow.
He moved to Manhattan.
Oh.
And he works for Microsoft. He has a good job with Microsoft, and then he met this fertility doctor, and they were dating, and they got married. They just got married.
I didn't realize it was 3 years ago already. Boy, I can still remember being horrified by the news that day.
3 years because they've lived her. She's got Reddington. She's been sitting on this for 3 years. They're just bringing this up into the light.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying it just surprises me. It's that old already. But
well, she jumped out a window or something and severed. They said that she's a paraplegic, but I know women in wheelchairs that have kids. What if she goes and has more kids with her mental state?
Good point.
She's young enough too, right?
Oh yeah, no, she can still birth. I don't know physically what damage was done to her body in terms of that, but I know she's paraplegic, so I don't know how that affected her reproductive system. All right, well, I appreciate your call.
Okay, have a good weekend.
You too. Ryan, what happened to your phone there, buddy?
I don't know.
You scared the crap out of me.
I tried to shut it off and I hit the button by accident.
Ryan likes to watch. What do you watch?
Huh?
What are those videos you watch?
I was watching a music video, kid.
While we're on the radio? You're just fascinated with the content, aren't you?
Hey, you were talking about that girl from Texas,
Andrea Yates. Yeah,
that was in 2001. Kid.
Right. Yeah.
She drowned her 5 kids in a bathtub.
Yep. How many years did she do in jail?
I don't know. It just said it happened in 2001.
I think she was out by 2010, 2011 or something.
She's 62 now.
Yeah. Well, I remember being horrified with that story, but and it's Massachusetts, so I hate to say it, but there's a good chance that she'll be out, and some people might support that. Thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
Hi, Ken. I was just listening to that lady. Is that trial over already? That Clancy woman?
No, it's still going on.
Okay, because it sounds like she already made up her mind and she hasn't even heard the defense portion of it yet.
Correct, yeah.
I'm curious to see what's going to go on because if she did do it, I feel bad for her and her children.
I don't think they're saying she didn't do it. I think they're trying to contest whether she was mentally responsible for doing it.
Right, but that Kevin Reddington, he's quite the attorney. He's been putting some good doubt in there because he was bringing up about the husband being on sending an email at a certain time that would put him at the location of the crime that occurred there at 5:24 p.m. supposedly. So I'm just trying to. I'm really trying to.
I think this Karen Reed trial. This Karen Reed trial has upped the ingenuity of defenses for the next few years. I'm afraid.
Yeah, and I followed that one too. As a matter of fact, I called you in the past about that also.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping an open mind because already, if she did do it, shame on her. But Kevin Reddington has brought some interesting information about the husband too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's trying to implicate him a little bit.
Yeah, because it sounds like somebody was researching how to commit suicide, and I guess the wife was at a doctor's appointment with the daughter. So who was it? Was it the husband or was it her?
Well, even if he was, looking into his wife's, even if he was looking into suicide, he may have been trying to figure out how she would try to do it. You know, there's explanations for that.
Right, but researching it before the murders occurred is kind of puts a question mark if he was doing that.
Yeah,
my opinion, anyhow.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, that was just my 2 cents. I thought the trial was over the way that the lady was describing. We haven't even heard Kevin Reddington.
Yeah, it is anything but concluded. Right.
Right. Well, have a great day, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
Love hearing your show. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. It's true. It's not over, and we haven't heard everything yet. So, like the jury, we'll just keep our powder dry.
Ken, have they called the ex-husband to the stand yet?
Yeah,
they have.
Yep.
So what did he say? Because I haven't been following it. So
I mean, he basically didn't surprise me with anything he said. You know, he had some concerns about it, but didn't think she would go that far, and whatever.
I think I've seen like one pot, and it was all like the state examiners that they called to the stand.
Yeah, I'm a little fatigued about watching court TV after the Karen Reed trial, so I don't think I can invest another 60 hours into that. I don't have a personal investment in that one either. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't know exactly what he said, but I know it was, nothing surprising. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Not bad. The husband was researching suicide because she was being treated for depression and suicide.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like...
Well, it's possible. It's probably what he was doing, but I'm just saying I can understand why the defense would question, for the sake of confusing the jury. I get it, but you're probably right.
What the defense is doing is to try to create doubt, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's his job.
To create conspiracy theories that don't exist and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, if he was looking up, suicide with your wife and how to bury her, I guess that would be much more incriminating than that. But whatever. we all research funny things. We research Manjaro and whether we should take it or not and all those other things. But anyway.
I know I go down some really weird rabbit holes, I never meant to go down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and suddenly you're there. And you're like, oh, wait, this isn't a good idea. Especially with AI looking over your shoulder.
Oh, no, nothing I would need to worry about. But I'm just saying, things that I never planned on researching. Just one thing leads to another. I'm researching this, that, and the other thing, and then I'm way off what I was originally doing.
No, I hear you. Hey, I wanted to change the subject to a sports subject. I'm not even sure if you...
Well, I'm going to have him call back. I didn't realize. I thought I had him locked here. You're on the air. Hi.
Is it me?
It is.
Eddie?
Guy off the street, John.
Guy off the street. Hi, Ryan.
What's up, Johnny?
Steve, call back.
Doing,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, good morning, John.
Good morning, Ken.
What's on your mind?
Day. It's funny, last week I didn't get a chance to call in, but I was going to say, how about those Red Sox? Boy, I'm glad I kept my powder dry.
Yep. Yep, they're coming down to earth.
I want to ask Ryan. Ryan was a pitcher himself, right?
He was.
Yes.
Ryan, real quick.
Yes.
Pennsylvania Penguins, is that what he pitched for?
What's your question for Ryan before we go to the commercial?
Totally the best.
Is Totally the best?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
He's saying he is. All right, John, unfortunately, the commercials are coming in.
All right, buddy.
Thank
Enjoy
you,
your
sir.
weekend.
You too.
Here's what's happening this week on Town Square Sunday. We'll have details on the Healthy Community Fund, a new program involving SouthCoast Health and the United Way of Greater New Bedford, aiming to meet the major needs of cities and towns here on the South Coast. Also, we'll talk about International Overdose Awareness Day, a special program in Dartmouth on August 27th to remember those lost to addiction and what we as a community can do to better address areas like homelessness and drug abuse. I'm Jim Phillips. Join me every Sunday for Town Square Sunday, 6 and 11 a.m., 1420 WBSM and 99.5 FM.
1420 AM and 99.5 FM. WBSM.
All right, we're back. We're going right back to the phones, and thanks for calling back.
Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Sorry about that. That was my fault.
No, I think I hung up on myself, but whatever. I was just wondering if you brought it up at the WNBA with the two ex-NBA players that are now identifying as women and going to sign up for the draft.
Oh, yeah, we can't not cover that.
Oh, you cover okay.
I'm waiting for Larry Johnson to bring back Grandmama.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's absurdity, and I know those guys aren't serious.
Of course.
But I think it's hilarious that the WNBA, which starts with a W for women, they had a meeting that was 8 hours long, and at the end, they were supposed to define what is a woman, and they couldn't do it because the ideology issue is greater than the reality and of trying to protect transgender. So in women's sports, that's it. I don't care if someone's transgender. I could care less. That's up to them if they want to dress in a dinosaur costume or whatever.
There's a particular ideology in this country that doesn't want to question whether or not Elizabeth Warren is a Native American, Rachel Dolezal is an African American, whether trans people are the opposite sex of the one they're born. I mean, they're just going to be agreeable to whatever flies.
Well, I think this is going to bring it to a head because they're either going to allow these men that are "quote unquote" transition to play or not, and I think this is going to be kind of landmark for sports.
Sports competition is designed for no unfair advantage, and like I said, when you have testosterone running through your veins and your blood and your bones for years, it is an incredible advantage over your opponents if you're going to the opposite gender.
Well, I'll leave you with this. I mean, you're a boxing fan, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why there's different weight classes in boxing?
I made that point. Yeah.
Right. So
clearly,
I mean, Mike Tyson would kill a flyweight, with one hand. So anyway,
do you like these heels?
Have a great week. What's that?
No, I'm just trying to picture Tyson in drag.
There's a couple of pictures online. It's actually pretty funny because when the Olympic boxing was going on,
I feel like the sheet has.
Exactly. All right. Well, listen, you have a great weekend. Thanks.
Same to you. Thanks for calling back, too. And that is actually going to do it for us here on the Ken Pittman Show. We're out of time. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. It's beautiful out there. Make sure you get outside. For Ryan Dixon, for WBSM, this is Ken Pittman, Jose Matos, and Money Matters on deck. Thank you.
WBSM and W258DR, New Bedford, a Town Square media station.